G'day everyone, Prep Aussie here. I hope you're all well in whatever part of the world you're watching this video. Today is Monday the 20th of August 2018 and the time here is 10 AM Australian Eastern Standard Time. Well folks, a big thank you first up to Simon for helping me out as regards to my computer last night. He did everything humanly possible to find the video, the missing video, but it's gone, just disappeared. What we've come to actually understand is two things. One, the system I'm using to record videos, this one, is technically inferior, so I need to get rid of it and get a new one. And two, perhaps there is something nefarious going on using the back door through Skype. But look, that's if there is, you know. But there's no reason. The actual whole reason of what I'm doing is when I'm recording, it actually saves it in its own memory. But even that's gone. It's just disappeared. Like I never made the video. So that just doesn't happen. And it just seems odd to me that the 3 times that it has happened, I've interviewed, it's only been on interviews. And the common denominator is Skype. So I'm starting to, understand that I can't use Skype. I'm going to have to find another alternative. There's Zoom and a couple others. So I'm going to have to start using something different if I'm going to do any more interviews. I don't actually even know if I'm going to, because I don't know if it's worth the hassle, to be honest. I suppose I can say what I've got to say, and if people want to listen, they listen. If not, but it's always nice to hear another person's views on things, isn't it? Anyway, moving on. Right, finances. I'm gonna set this video up so that you guys can just say you want to give it to a friend, a neighbour, a relative, or whatever. You'll be able to do that with today's video. I'm going to show you exactly what is wrong, and I'm going to show you exactly what's coming. Okay? And there's no two ways about it. Once I'm finished, then if people don't understand that, then don't even try and bother to actually talk to them about this stuff anymore. Okay? Because I get a lot of emails from people, how do I make them believe this, blah, 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 blah. Right, I'm going to do that today. After today's video, if you still have relatives and friends who just will not believe it, don't lose a moment's sleep about it. Just forget about it. Stop. You're not going to do any more than you've done. Okay? Right, so let's go. Let's do the video. Okay, folks. First off, I'm going to show you this website. I have a sponsor, and this is my sponsor, Totally Rawsome Health. Now, I'm pretty particular about what I'm going to actually show on this show, as regards to companies, etc. Now, Totally Rawsome do I call it turmeric. I'm an old Australian, so to me it's called turmeric. And what this stuff does, and I'm telling you this because I've used this stuff. They convinced me to give it a go. I gave it a go, and because I have constant knee pain, because through rugby, karate and everything else, I've literally worn out my knee joints. This stuff does work. Let me tell you, this stuff is amazing. If you've got hip pain, knee pain, joint pain, back pain, look, I'm not a physician or anything like that, so I can't tell you to, take this, but look, if you want to try something that's natural and herbal, and it does actually work, get this stuff. Seriously, because I'm telling you, I haven't had any knee pain since I started taking it. I take it every morning with my coffee, and it is bloody excellent. It's the best one that I've found so far, and I was looking for a few, and this stuff is really, really good. They make it really, really well. I'll show you in the bottom here. This is where you can, that's their contact details. I'll put the link at the bottom of the video. But please give this stuff a try, guys. Totally Rawsome. Okay, moving on. I'm going to show you now exactly what is going on in the world as regards to problems with money, etc. Now, I'm going to go to the DAX first. I'm doing it so you guys can follow me, okay? Let's get rid of the clunky ad. And that one. Okay. Now, as I've said before, does that look like a healthy stock market? No. But that's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is this here, Deutsche Bank. Obviously can't get rid of that one. Now, Deutsche Bank's high was $132 a share not that long ago. I'll say that again, 132 US dollars a share. Its value today is $9.76. They have been literally throwing money, tons of money, at this bank to keep it propped up. And as I said, they will keep it propped up while the other banks fail. You'll see one or two or three other European banks, Italian banks, French, whatever. They will sacrifice everything before they let Deutsche Bank fail. Because Deutsche Bank is the unifying bank of Europe, if not the world. It currently has something like $55 trillion of derivative debts. So that's step one. So Deutsche Bank is not coming back from the dead, folks. It's gone. It's finished. It's game over. It's not going to be able to do anything anymore. And it's actually got that much debt. Okay. Go back to the main page. Right, look to the right hand side here. Stocks, commodities and bonds. Now, I've shown you the stocks. I'm going to go to the bonds. Right. This is extremely important, folks. I'm going to go to the US. I'm going to tap on the US. Now, for you people who don't know, and as I've always said, this is not financial advice, I'm an economic hack. The current rate of return for a 10-year US bond is 10.8730. So that's percentages, folks. So that's 2.7%. You give them billions of dollars, you'll get 2.7% for each dollar that you put in, or each 10-year bond that you're buying. So basically you're buying US debt at 10.7%. 10.87, sorry, whatever it was. Now, that's low. That's extremely low. Because as you can imagine, if you're putting your money into a bank, then if you're trying to get money off your interest, then you'll be looking at 9%, anything above 5% to start getting a proper return rate on your money. As you all know, the current return rates in banks are nothing. So no one's putting their money in a bank. And no one's buying bonds. Now, I'm going to show you exactly what the big problem is. Okay, let's go to Germany, which I just showed you had Deutsche Bank. The current return rate of the German mark or a 10-year bond is 0.31%. Did you understand what I just said? 0.31%. So it's just over 0.25% that you want to get for your return if you give them billions of dollars and you want to buy a 10-year bond from the German Reserve Bank. You're going to get 0.3% return. Think about that. So I've just shown you the American one where it was 2.87, which is extremely low. And now I'm showing you the German, which is 0.31. They're broke, folks. They're all broke. Now, the big problem here is once the bond market starts to take off, because people are running out of places to make their money. And I'll show you this as well. Let's go to commodities. And look, I can show you any bank there. Okay, Japan. You all know Japan. So I'll do this first. If it ever comes up. There you go. The current rate of return for a Japanese 10-year bond is 0.1. Now, look at the bottom of the chart. It almost went negative, folks. Now, I'm going to show you this. Switzerland, you know, the place that's got all the gold and they're really rich and everything's okay, tickety-boo. They're currently selling their 10-year bond at minus 0.13. And you don't have to be Einstein to work out that the American one is at 2.8. The Germans are at 0.3, just above zero. The Swiss, and when you think of Switzerland, you think of financial stability, the rock of the economic rock of the world, is currently at minus 0.13. Think about that. Think of the difference between America and Switzerland. Now, what's going to happen is pretty soon people are going to start, and they've already started, and this is why the emerging markets are collapsing, because they've gorged themselves on American debt, American money and American debt. Billions and billions, if not trillions of dollars worth of debt. And now the problem is that their hens are coming home to roost. And the American dollar is taking off, and they are literally, the emerging economies, they're screwed. And this includes Australia, by the way, because we've borrowed money, all our money, borrowed money comes from overseas. It's as simple as that. And tomorrow I'm going to touch on the Royal Commission and the Australian banking system. That will be tomorrow's topic, by the way. And you're going to be shocked. You're going to be really shocked. Well, maybe not, because you know what's going on. Right, so let's go to the last one that I was going to show you. Let's go to commodities. Okay, let's go to gold. If it comes up. Okay, this is gold over the last couple of months. Let's go 5 years. Yeah. Woohoo! So currently it's diving down again. Look, they're forcing the price of gold down gold is so manipulated now, it's just ridiculous. But as I've said, buy some. Just buy an ounce. You don't have to buy 10 ton of it. If you can buy 10 ton of it, great. But realistically, can you look after it? And, you know, that's the main thing. How are you going to look after it? If someone knows you've got that much gold, then, man, you're walking around with a target on your back. Unless it's in a Brinks gold van. You know, how are you going to store it all? It'd have to be the best kept secret in the world. So my point is, just get some. Where it's gold chains, gold bracelets. You can buy 92% pure silver and gold from your jewellers. Did you realise that? But have some gold coins, have an ounce of gold. Be clever, not stupid. This is falling down now. While you're watching this, the economic system in the world is just gone over the edge a little bit. That's why the emerging markets, Turkey, etc., are faltering. Turkey will not repay their debt. They're going to default on their debt. It's that big. They can't. It's physically impossible. So, you know, the warning signs are there. Okay, so let's go to silver. There you go. Let's go 5 years for silver and let's see what the trend was. Oh, geez. Look how low it was in 2016. $13.76 an ounce. And it's not much higher than that now, folks. So you're an absolute mug if you don't buy some of that. Look, I'm being fair dinkum here. If you're serious and you are classed as a prepper, then what I'm saying to you should be screaming alarm bells in your head. Let me put this directly to you. The economic system in the world is broken. It's not coming back. There is no way they can make it come back. You know, they gave all the money, most of the money, to the emerging markets. There you go. There's trillions. Just go and spend it. Now the emerging markets can't pay that money back either. So now you've got to double the debt bubbles. You've got the original debt bubble. Now you've got the emerging market debt bubble. But don't forget, European zone countries are no better fiscally than the emerging markets. It's just a joke. So the time for thinking, oh yeah, maybe something's happening. Well, it is happening now. While I'm doing this, recording this video, the markets are breaking down. All the signs are there. Now, whether you're clever enough to actually make an informed decision and look after yourself and try and get friends and families to understand it. Right, I said I was going to do that for you. Right, I've got one last thing I'm going to show you. Okay, I'm going to show you guys the Australian debt clock. Now you can easily Google it, called the Australian debt clock. I'm showing you this so you can show it to everyone you know personally and say, look, this can't be paid back. It's impossible. It just can't be paid back. This is the current Australian total debt. 6,906,107,500,000. Do you get the point? Now, when I hover over that, I'm going to read it for you. Representative of aggregate credit outstanding in both the private, household and business sector and the public government sector of the Australian economy, including debts outside of the banking system. Right, now cast your eye down here. This is total government debt, representative of total Australian Commonwealth, state and local government debt outstanding. Right, that is $813 billion, folks. Billion with a B. It's billion with a B. We are almost at $1 trillion. That's the total government debt. And as I said, if you had a pie chart and you broke it up, there's actually about 6 million people in Australia with permanent jobs who are actually, people have part-time jobs as well, but the majority, if it was is about 6 million people actually paying full taxes. Because don't forget, government debt includes police, firemen, the whole lot, ambulance, the whole lot, schools. If you actually just think in your mind how much debt the government has to pay each month, and it's skyrocketing out of control. And we've borrowed. We are an emerging market economy, and we've borrowed. We've put the old nose in the trough there, and we've gone for it as well. Why do you think that Malcolm Turnbull's running around at the moment saying, "Oh, we're going to build that, and we're going to build this, and we're building everything, infrastructure crazy, yeah," because he borrowed a shitload of money, and now he's got to use it, and the problem is he can't repay it. Not physically possible. It's not physically possible to repay the debt that we've got now. Everybody knows that, and everyone needs to understand that. So, as I said, being informed is being prepared. So that's what this is about. All right, let's go to the prayers. Okay, folks, verse of the day. Whoever has the Son has life. Whoever does not have the Son of God does not have life. Okay, folks, I'm going to finish with the Lord's Prayer, as always. The Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, for ever and ever. Amen. All right, folks, I'll leave it at that. Hopefully you'll be able to show people and say, the figures don't lie. They just, you can't make it up. 20 years ago, if someone went to the future and brought that back and showed people 20 years ago, they would have laughed at them. They would have said, "You're joking. There's no way. No way that can work out." So that's how far crazy things have gone in the last 20 years, even 10 years. Because remember, it's 10 years ago of the GFC. And they've done every trick in the book to keep it going. It's a big Ponzi scheme. But the suckers that got dragged in last now are all crashing. So please like, share and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. God bless. Prep out.